When it comes to fashion and home decor, there are two terms that are often used interchangeably: retro and vintage. But what's the difference between the two? Retro is a style that is inspired by the past, while vintage is actually from the past. Retro pieces are often made to look like they are from a specific era, while vintage pieces are actually from that era. Retro pieces can be found in all sorts of places, from thrift stores to department stores. Vintage pieces, on the other hand, are typically found in antique stores or at estate sales. One of the biggest differences between retro and vintage is the price. Retro pieces are typically much cheaper than vintage pieces, simply because they are not as old. Another difference between retro and vintage is the quality. Retro pieces are often made with cheaper materials than vintage pieces. This is because retro pieces are not meant to last as long as vintage pieces. If you're looking for a piece of furniture or clothing that will stand the test of time, then you should opt for a vintage piece. However, if you're on a budget, then a retro piece can be a great option. No matter what your budget or style, there's a place for both retro and vintage in your home. By mixing and matching the two, you can create a unique and eclectic space that reflects your personality.